Yo, what it do, man? We back. It's your boy Young Spider in the building. As usual, and you're listening to Check Down, where we check down on the best available waiver wire pickups of the current week. And this week is week 6. And week 6, interesting. That's all I got to say, man. A lot of you guys are upset, to say the least. No pun intended, of course. But before we get into the show, a word from our sponsors. Football is money. Whether you're a diehard fan, fantasy manager, or just in it for the drama, we're here every week to bring you the action and analysis you crave. Plus, don't miss a beat. Follow Football is Money on all social platforms for extra updates and live game insights. Join the team. Subscribe today and let's make every game count on Football is Money. That's right, man. Football is money, man. Footballismoney.com is where you need to go if you need help, if you need to scoop on parlays, tickets, all that type of stuff, man. This guy has everything you need in order to have your roster set and straight, And moving forward with footballismoney.com, if y'all haven't seen, we have a show called The Money Down that airs. We don't know when we want to air it. Our first episode was shot last week, I believe. So we're going to see what that does moving forward. But for now, tune in to Check Down so you can understand who those waiver wire pickups are. All right, let's move forward, man. First and foremost, we got to address the elephant in the room. No pun intended, you feel me? But there's an elephant in the room that we have to address. And that elephant, sad. It looks sad when you just look at it on your screen right now and you just take it all in and you realize, man, dang, Marion Hampton out for 4 to 6 weeks. That's tough, man. Anybody who has Marion Hampton on their team has witnessed and have profited off of his prolific run style. And, he gets yards after the carry like none. He's a patient running back. And it seems as though his patience may have caught up to him, Unfortunately, he has injured his calf muscles. And what's wrong with the calf is even if he comes back in 4 to 6 weeks, he won't be the same. He get re-aggravated real easy. We have seen this done over and over again with one Christian McCaffrey. Now, could this young rookie be coming out of San Diego the same as Christian McCaffrey, plagued with injuries, not really being able to get over that hump? Because it's only 5 games in and he's injured. In the first 2 games, they didn't even run him like they're running him, right now, as of late. But unfortunately, man, if you have this guy, you're going to need other options. And we're going to talk about that later in the show. So for now, we're going to go on to each player that I believe that you guys should pick up off of the waiver wire this week in order to, set your lineup for the best possible success. And we're going to start first. Hold on, let me get my trusty handy dandy iPad out. We're going to go first with Mason Taylor. Mason Taylor is a tight end coming out of New York Jets. As of now, he has 29.50 fantasy points. Now, is his quarterback situation over there highly volatile? Sure. Can you trust Justin Fields to give him the ball? Sure. I don't think Justin Fields trusts his own throwing capability. You see what I'm saying? So it'll be a lot of check down plays, no pun intended, to this guy right here, the tight end, which on most teams, when you have, passers who are unsure about what they're going to do with the ball, they check it down to who? In this case, it'll be Mason Taylor coming from the Jets. He's not someone that's high on my ad list, but if you look for a tight end, maybe have a tight end on a bye week, he's one of the tight ends I'm going to highlight today because last week he kind of ate. He ate more than I think half the team, and that says a lot. Even Breece Hall, he ate more than Breece Hall. It's interesting when you watch these stats and these players that end up on the waiver wire, and what they bring to the table, And Mason Taylor, I feel like, is someone that has a nice little upside simply because, like I said, Justin Fields, he doesn't trust himself. So a lot of check-down plays. Next, we got Ryan Flournoy out of Dallas, playing for the Dallas Cowboys, 22.10 fantasy points. Also a receiver, and also someone that I would want to play immediately. I mean, last week could have been a fluke. You want to just put him on your bench, see what he does, see if he still rocks like he needs to rock, and take it from there. Because if you don't, and you have other options. I mean, if you don't have any other options, and you go with this guy, and he gives you a big fat donut, you're gonna run back here, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, bro, you told me to play this guy," and I'm gonna be like, "Did I? I think I told you play the best available option." Now, is he the best available option? That's up for debate. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's depending on how terrible your wide receiver position is right now. I mean, in no shape, form, or fashion would I think or believe that half of you guys need a Ryan Flournoy. But if you are in a deep league where, deep league, then I think Ryan would be somebody that you could look into going forward. You know what I'm saying? So Ryan Flournoy, however you say his name, look into him. Try to get him on your team. Not because you need him, it's because you want him. You feel me? Again, it ain't because you need him. It's because you want him. All right. All right. We going on over to the next player. We got another tight end, man, and this tight end, I would solidly get this tight end, AJ Barner, man. Like, he's one of those tight ends, big guy, always out in motion, always seeing what's going on, always looking through the field, always, involved in the plays is what I noticed. So I feel like he will be an excellent pickup for someone who needs a tight end. You got George Kittle and you're waiting for him to come back. I feel like AJ Barner should have already been on your team. If not, shame on you. Shame on you. That's all I can say, man. AJ Barner right now has 44.80 fantasy points, man. And he has no sign. I don't see any signs of slowing down whatsoever. You know what I mean? I feel like he's going to go upward and continue to go upward, So check out AJ Barner on the waiver wire. Pick him up if you got room. Now, again, these, depending on your matchups, depending on what tight ends you have, man, don't just start him because I am telling you to start him. Start him because you feel like he's the best available waiver wire pickup of the current week. We streaming these people, you feel me? So, like I was saying earlier about the Omarion Hampton injury, it's going to be someone that needs to step up. And as you saw, Adam Vidal came in with the second team reps during all that on the field, and one Hassan Haskins was what appeared to be the lead back. Took most of the reps with the first team. So, but he only had 2 fantasy points for the entire season. Now, I wouldn't trust this guy on my starting roster, but if put it like this, man. If you are plagued with injuries like Lamar Jackson, Terry McLaurin, Omarion Hampton, and the list of these other named people, your season is probably over, and now you're on a streaming journey where you're streaming options, right? And he will be a streaming option, low key, low end running back 3 flex type of situation, but like I said, I wouldn't really trust him. See, like last week, you watched the show last week. I told you guys, get Rico Dotto now and plug him in. And you saw how he ate. He ate like a man that hasn't eaten in weeks. You know what I mean? And it turned out to be great on his end of things because now it's like Chuba Hubbard and him. It's like, who do you go with? But anyway, Haskins, stash him. Soft stash. Like, I would let someone else get him first. You see what I'm saying? I wouldn't stretch my capabilities to get him, right? I would let other people get him, and when they drop other people, I'll grab them. Put it like that. But if you need him in a deep league, pick him up, man. Now, this person, man, he playing with my dogs, bro, out there in Look, I'm a Cowboys fan, but I like New York, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Their team is pretty fire, if you ask me. You know, Jackson Dart, you got Theo Johnson now and Scatterboo, man. Theo Johnson is emerging, man, second year tight end, and now he's showing like his size and his strength and also his pass catching capabilities, man, or above average and top tier, man. This guy could end up being better than what's that dude guys? Brock Bowers. I think he can be better than Brock Bowers, man, under this offense. Once New York gets rolling, they really get it going. They got Tyrone Tracy coming back. They can mix up the backs. It's going to be an explosive backfield. But as far as wide receivers goes, there's not really any. So Theo Johnson is going to get targeted a lot, like a lot. So he's one of those players you pick up, you play him. Put him in immediately. He's not a stash play. He's a play it now type of play. And now that we're talking about stash play, I want to bring us to our stash of the week. You know what I mean? Because everyone has a stash of the week. And like last week I told you guys to stash Rico. I told you guys to stash Shadir. And you better keep stashing Shadir because I feel like my boy is going to arrive. He's going to arrive real soon. I don't believe in Dylan Gabriel. I'm sorry. I'm not a Dylan Gabriel believer or a Zap believer, bro. We're going to see, though, man. They're trying everything they can to box this young man out. But it's all good, man. We're going to see, you know. But my stash of the week, you know, has to be, hold on. Jalen Coker of the North Carolina Panthers, man. This guy, he's going to come in the field and he's going to blow up. You feel me? I feel like everybody who sees this man on waiver wire and it's not picking him up and you have room, you want to take a L. You want to lose. As you can see in this highlight, my man has jets in his shoes, bro. He works for Cupid. He has Cupid wings on the back heels of his shoe, my boy. Pick him up now. Bryce Young is a for lack of better terms, he's a chunker of the ball, boss. He don't chunk the ball, bro. I'm saying every time he go chunk that ball, you know what I'm saying? And because of this, you gotta pick him up. No, Jalen Coker doesn't have stats right now. He's athletic, like he just has his name. He's just depending on the good name that his mom and daddy gave him. Now, do I feel like he's one of those people, even when he comes back, the first week comes back, am I gonna play him? Probably not. And that's cool. You know, I'm probably not gonna play him. And the reason why is because on my team, you have to earn your right to be started. You know, and some people just plug people in and be like, oh man, like last week I told you guys about Taysom Hill, and a lot of you guys started Taysom Hill. Not a good idea, right? Like I said, you gotta look at the best available options, and you gotta make it make sense. Most importantly, because if it doesn't make sense, what is the point, right? So, Jalen Coker, pick him up, bro. He coming, man. My stash a week. All right, moving on over, man. We're going to go to another rookie in Cleveland, Isaiah Bond. He has 16.80 fantasy points. And just like the Theo Johnson situation, this is a tight end who's playing on a team with a quarterback that isn't that good. Let's be honest, man. He's all right. He's not the best. You know what I'm saying? He's all right. So he's going to do a lot of check down plays to his tight end. He doesn't have a lot of options at wide receiver. So because of this, because of the lack of options, I feel like my boy Isaiah Bond is the only option besides Judy. So, I mean, two wide receivers that play for a quarterback that isn't prolific and can't guarantee you touches. Stash him. Stash him until my boy Shadir comes, man. That Sanders boy. Stash him until he comes and then watch his worth go up, man. That's my prediction, man. It's going to happen now. It's going to happen later. It's going to happen another week. I don't know, man. Just stash here and stash Bond. All right, man, my next one's a controversial pick, and I really don't care because I mean, every team has to be hydrated. Everybody needs help somewhere or along the other. So we're going to go to Tennessee, man. We're going to take a look at Tajay Spears. Now, Tajay Spears has one fantasy point, but I'm not going off of what you see on the screen right here. I'm going off of what I see on the television and what I see his coaches and what I hear his coaches say, right? Which is he's going to have an expanded role on the team. And because of this alone, I'm going to scoop him up just in case. And I'm going to put him on my bench. I'm going to wait and see what's going to happen, man. Because it's starting to get deep in the season. And some of you guys are desperate. And when desperate times comes from, for desperate measures, I would listen to what they say on the news with, with these coaches, how they want to play, how they want to start these players. So, Tajay Spears, scoop him up. I don't know what he can do, but he's playing it with Tony Pollard, who's known to get injured eventually. So, Tajay Spears will be the next man up because he's the next man up. That's the reason why you go ahead and grab him off of the wire. Use your head, man. Next up. Now, this is controversial as well. Will Shipley coming out of Philly. Why is it controversial? Well, Will Shipley has 35.4 fantasy points. Saquon Barkley had a minor injury scare in the last game. He got some work done. And Will Shipley has shown his face in the last, 2 to 3 weeks, right? He's been slowly being incorporated into that offense, man. So because of this, because Saquon Barkley is a starter, and he also, Saquon Barkley, I love the guy, but he is injury prone, right? So because of this, you're going to need a Will Shipley to back you up on your bench in case Barkley goes down. He is not a must start. He is a stash. He's a borderline stash, borderline running back 3 or 4. And that doesn't even exist. He's a borderline running back 3 or 4, bruh. So that should tell you. You know what I mean? Only if Saquon Barkley gets hurt do you start this guy. And I'm having some definitely having some technical difficulties with my coordinating system. So bear with me to get this under control. All right, so last but not least, our last wire ad of the week has to be one Kendrick Bourne. Now, as of this morning, Brock Purdy is still hurt. Juwan Jennings is still hurt. Ricky Pearsall is still hurt. So enter the Mac Jones. Enter the Mac. You heard me? The Mac in Kendrick Bourne identity has an identity and connection that's like none other as you saw last Thursday. Now, is Kendrick Bourne someone I'm going to plug in if I have other names that I know that are more productive? No. But he's on the waiver wire and he is available. And you need firepower in case these guys get re-injured or re-aggravate an injury. Find Kendrick Bourne, plug him in. He had around 8 to 9 targets that game, over 100 yards receiving. Grab him. It's not a fluke. That's because that man went out there and played. You know what I'm saying? All right, man. So that's the show. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you guys think, man. Do you guys like my picks? Do you want me to add other people? Do you guys feel like my picks were too prematurely judged? Because I wait till Thursday in order to put my picks up so that you guys can receive them and have the same information that I have so you can set your lineups just like people over at footballismoney.com. Footballismoney.com. Parlay help, fantasy help. I think he does tickets as well, man. He does a lot of things over there when it comes to Vegas gambling, and I feel like you guys, if you fool with me, you definitely will fool with Football is Money. So go over there at footballismoney.com, listen to the podcast, give us feedback, let us know what we can do to make the pod better. You know what I mean? So until next time, one love. I gotta fix my problems and error messages. So sorry about this live, but hopefully you guys can hear me smoothly and don't get distracted by the video chipping and chirping out. But until next time, one love. Peace.